We recently posted a interview with one of my Talmidim who was in Gaza blowing up the houses of terrorists. And he mentioned in this interview that when he first heard about the October 7th attack, he got on a plane on Shabbos. He got on a plane and went to the airport on Shabbos and flew Motzi Shabbos, which was second day Yontif in America, to Eretz Yisrael. And since then, I've gotten a lot of feedback from many people about this issue. Is it permitted? Is it obligatory? What's the right thing to do? And I'd like to share with you today the results of that Shaila question, and also another question which I've gotten recently many times, which is, should we come to Eretz Yisrael now during these times when there's so much going on in the realm of considering the war. So as far as the first question, I presented it to both Rav Shlomo Safrani and Rav Yitzchak Berkowitz and got different answers. When I spoke to Rav Shlomo Safrani initially, that we had an attack of 3,000 terrorists on Israel, was it proper to fly to Michal Shabbos for this, go to the airport and fly on second Yantiv? He responded in the negative. He explained as follows, that in the shilos of Pikuach Nefesh, we consider Pikuach Nefesh when it's lefanav. For example, Rav Shlomo Kluger has a response of somebody who was asking about being Michal Shabbos, but the danger wasn't in front of him at the time. There's a possibility of danger coming, and did that merit being Michal Shabbos? And he responded in the negative. That's not called Pekuach Nefesh L'fanav. So, in this particular case, the danger was definitely in front of the people in Israel. There's no question. 3,000 terrorists going around killing people is definitely a situation of extreme danger. But the person was not there. The person was in Chutz La'aretz. And therefore, number one, he was abroad. And number two is that there were a few 100,000, 300,000 people here who could take care of it. So therefore, Rav Safrani ruled that it's not called Pikuach Nefesh L'fanav. The follow-up question which I received was that although there were 3,000 terrorists there at the time, they were concerned that as many as 50,000 terrorists would come in. Did that change the situation? When I spoke to Rav the second time, he said, no, it doesn't change the situation. Pikuach Nefesh is either in front of you or it's not in front of you. It's not in front of you, and there are other people who could take care of it. It doesn't matter about if it's 3,000 or it's 50,000. It's not called Pikuach Nefesh L'fanav, and it would not justify being Michal Shabbos. When we presented the question later on to Rav Yitzchak Berkowitz, the Rosh Yeshiva in Eshet Torah, and the Rav here in Sanhedrin Muchevet, the Rav felt that it was Pikuach Nefesh L'fanav. It was a question of Pikuach Nefesh because there was such a great danger, and especially in the person who asked me was in a very high-ranking division in the army, and his skills were very, very important to be here in Eretz Yisrael. So the Rav did consider it to be Pikuach Nefesh L'fanav, and it did justify going to the airport and flying on second day Yontif. It's fascinating to note how difference in opinion there could be. And again, it really boils down to learning how you learn the sugyas, number one. And number two, what's called shikol hadas. Right? Two Rabbanim will have radically different viewpoints on issue like we have here. And it depends on their personal understanding, how they understood, how they learned the Gemaras and the Rishonim and the Poskim, and also shikol hadas, their evaluation and estimation of the situation. So that was issue number one. Issue number two has just come up quite often, and it's right on our plate right now. We have every year a Yarchi Kala in our Kolel. This year we'll have one as well on February 13th to February 17th. Right? And the participants of the Yarchi Kala asked me to present to Rav, the Rabbanim that I'm in touch with, right, the question of, is that called Pikuach Nefesh L'fanav? In the other direction, right? Should they stay in America because perhaps it's dangerous to come here to Eretz Yisrael? I believe that many people are of the opinion. I know I had a job as a Rav in a Pesach hotel, and the program was canceled because nobody's coming. I'm sitting here at the coast now, which is empty. It's usually quite full. It's basically empty because there are very few visitors here, which is unfortunate. This is really what Hamas wants, to destroy Israel's economy and other parts. But it's understandable that people. But when I presented this question to Moshe Sternbach, the Rav said, if they want to come, they can come. Right? Of course, I wanted the Rav to paskin that it's safe to come, because, as I've said in previous year, when Adam Gadol such as Rav Sternbach makes such a psak, that would make it safe to come. The Rav was not willing to issue such a psak, because the Rav holds that we are in extremely dangerous times. We're in Chevli Mashiach. These are extremely dangerous times, but Hashem is protecting us, and life is going on here basically in Yerushalayim as I would say as normal, but things are certainly going from day to day. From regular routines are being followed. So the Rav said, if they want to come, they can come. Rav Safrani also told us it's not considered, in this case, it's not considered Pekuach Nefesh L'fanav. If you're watching the news and seeing what's going around in the world today, there is no place where it's safe to be for a Jew at this time, unless you go on some small island in the Pacific where nobody's there, and you might even find some Houthis over there. So I wouldn't assume that anywhere in the world is safe these days. So if anybody is interested in coming to Israel to have a really positive learning experience, all the Balabadim come in the past few years, they've loved it. We'll set you up with a charusa. We're going to be learning Be'iyan for 3 days, halacha of Davar Charif, right? Siman Sadi Vav in your Adea. Please be in touch with me at dytravis613@gmail.com. Also, again, I say this for the many, many times. I've gotten so many responsive that I have a special tefillah from Shlomo Brevda about general difficulties and about shidduchim as well for girls. If you would like these tefillahs, please write to me, and I'll send them to you. And although Baruch Hashem, things have quieted down here a little bit, from day to day, nobody knows what's going to happen. We have to definitely increase our tefillahs. This is what Hashem wants. And as Rav Moshe Sternbach always says, and is being saying now as well, our obligation in this time is to raise our emunah. We've seen thousands and thousands of miracles, not just from the soldiers, as some of them were recounted in the presentation, in the interview we gave, but just from the number of missiles that have been sent and not gone off or landed in empty places, or other stories where there was tremendous, miraculous divine intervention. We've seen Hashem's hand here during this war. That obligates us, when you see Hashem's hand, to raise our emunah, to see things in a different light. Right? As one woman said, when a Scud missile fell on her building and didn't blow up, and someone said to her, "That's a big miracle." She said, "No, that's the way it goes here in Israel." And Rav Moshe Sternbach confirmed that from the Qasim Sofer. There is something called Manhaga Klolis. There is such a concept that the entire nation, the entire country, is the recipient of miraculous divine intervention, but there's a price to pay. And the price is we must use those events, those acts of open divine intervention to raise our perception of Hashem. That means in our tefillahs we have to have more concentration and more passion when we dive in and realize that Hashem is the one controlling things, especially when we get to the bracha, Makabetz Nidchei Am Yisrael. Rav Sternbach ruled that you should say that with special command for the hostages, and that hopefully will be poil. That's number one. But number two, all the brachas of Shmo Yesrei, it's to be so much clearer to us that Hashem is running the show. And if we really want to have success in our health, our parnasa, all our difficulties, everything's going on, the gula, freeing the hostages, whatever it might be, the answer to that is to daven better in Shemona Esrei or our personal bakashas. We should have tefillah on our lips all the time, especially Ein Od Milvado. That's really, really powerful words to have on our time. And the Gemara in Chulin, Daf Zayin on Beis, says that if you say those words, you'll be protected from all danger. I can personally testify many, many times that this has helped me. Situations when I've been either in danger or great predicaments. And this is what we must be doing now. So again, just to recap, right? The year's machlokas about October 7th. Was it permitted or not permitted to fly to Eretz Yisrael? Rav Safrani held it wasn't called Pikuach Nefesh L'fanav, and Rav Yitzchak Berkowitz held it was called Pikuach Nefesh L'fanav. It did merit flying on Shabbos and Yontif. And the second question, is it safe to come here to Eretz Yisrael? The answer is there's nowhere in the world that's safe, but it's not called Pikuach Nefesh L'fanav. Anybody, in the words of Rav Moshe Sternbach, anybody who wants to come can come, right? And they'll be zeichet to learn Torah here in Eretz Yisrael. Please join us for a Yorchi Kala. We'll be very, very happy to have you and to set you up with one of the Avreichim in our kol who is very excited to learn with others who are looking and thirsty for Torah. B'ezrat Hashem should protect the Jewish people, protect Eretz Yisrael, bring the Gula quickly. Amen. Kain Tiratzan.